Hi everybody, it's Miss Wissman, and today I'll be working examples 2 and 3 on page 9 of your note packet. We want to take a look at what an ow problem looks like, and both 2 and 3 are outside and whole. The reason I know they're an outside and a whole, because if I look at the picture in number 2, I notice that there's an outside section. There's an outside section to each of those secant lines. Okay, a 6 and a 5. I've got outside section, so that already tells me I'm going to be using outside times whole equals outside times whole. Okay, so let's just take a look further. We know that 6 is on the outside, but what is the whole thing? Well, it's going to be 4 plus 6, which is 10. So 10 is my whole segment. Okay, so 10 is that whole segment there. If I look at this whole segment is an x and a 5. So x plus 5 is my whole segment there. Okay, so inside plus outside, x plus 5. So when I'm filling in my formula here, I'm going to be very specific. I'm going to say, okay, what's the outside? Well, it's a 6. What's the whole thing for this segment? It's 10. Look at the next segment. The outside is 5, and the whole thing is x plus 5. From here, I'm just going to do some algebra. 6 times 10 is 60. And then I'm going to distribute my 5. That's 5x and 25. Subtract 25 from both sides, and you get 35. Divide by 5, and your x is 77, which answers my question here. Looking at the next question, you'll notice something different. First of all, you'll notice this segment up here is entirely outside. The whole segment is outside. So 14 is the outside, but it's also the whole thing, right? This whole segment is on the outside. So this is the outside part of that segment. It's also the whole segment, okay? So 14 is both of those there. Then we've got this 7 on the outside, and the whole thing is x and 7. So x plus 7 is the whole thing there, okay? So this is ow, because I've got some outside sections. So let's talk. For the first one, the outside is 14. The whole thing, also 14. So 14 times 14. Then, if I look at the next segment, the outside is 7. The whole thing is x plus 7. And from here, I'm just going to do some algebra. So 14 times 14 is 196. Distribute 7x plus 49. If I subtract 49, I get 147. Divide by 7, and I get 21. Except my question is not asking me for x this time. It's asking for my secant line. My secant line would be this one right here, the one that crosses my circle twice. My secant line is x plus 7, right? It's that whole line right there. So what did I find x to be? Well, I found it to be 21, so I'm going to add 7. My secant line then equals 28. In the next video, couple slides, you're going to be asked to do some U-tries, so go ahead and give it a shot.